Welcome back to the Listen Up podcast, where we analyze a new album each week. I'm Jamie, and this week we've got me, Nick.
I just want to congratulate Jamie on publishing his first article in the Daily Wire this week. Everyone go off for Jamie Beamguard. Sound off in the comments.
Jordan.
You're irreplaceable.
And joining us this week for the first time is Austin.
Go stream Finesse Boys on SoundCloud.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This week, we're going to be taking a look at The Slow Rush by Tame Impala, released in 2020. Actually, a couple days over a year ago, 2 years ago today. Wow, I shouldn't have said anything. And it was picked by Austin. But before we get into that, really quick, if you want to keep up with the show, you can find us on Twitter at ListUpPodcast and on Instagram at ListenUpPod. That's where we're going to make any announcements regarding the show or merch. Speaking of which, if you want to support the show, you can find merch at interestpointproductions.com or at the link tree on those socials. Regarding the selection for this week, Austin, why'd you choose this album for your debut episode?
So, like you said, this came out like 2 days ago. It would have been its 2-year anniversary. And I feel like this album is kind of, especially with like COVID and everything that's happened over the past 2 years, I think it kind of like is an album that can speak for the time period that we're in. And it's also an album that I found in like a time period of my life that was like a lot of change was happening. And I feel like that's a big theme overall in the album. And so I was like, this is an album that, I don't know, I really enjoy. And when you asked me to do it, I was listening to it on vinyl and I was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
It was meant to be.
Meant
to be.
Incredible. I've been a follower of yours on Snapchat for a long time now. I don't know if you know that.
I do not know that, no.
And I think like I honestly don't know when it started. I think Jamie like sent me one of your stories a long time ago.
I would say it was definitely like our senior year of high school or freshman year of college. And because me, Sarah, and Samantha followed your shit.
Yeah, I knew Sarah and Samantha
doing a bunch of like
did.
sketches and skits and shit like that. And I would show it to Nick, and he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna follow him on Snapchat to watch those too." So it was sometime around then, like 4 years ago, So it's been a while that Nick has been lurking.
but I love the Steez posts. I love the seeing what you're spinning. I saw you got earlier tonight. You got Con Todo El Mundo, the Krungbin album.
Yep.
Incredible.
And, Neutral Milk Hotel, Airplane Over the Sea.
Yes, sir.
Great one.
Nick, you got your Texas Moon EP early, right?
I did.
Do you have that on hand?
No, it's in my living room. But
I was thinking about
Wow.
getting that.
Yeah. I bought that and Mordecai at the same time, and they're both
the
great.
regular show. You bought him in a few or something?
No, I have him. He's I have him in a crate.
Didn't Texas Moon? Didn't it get to you? It was one of the. Didn't it also get to you early?
Yeah, it got to me like 4 days early. Like it comes out in 2 days after we're recording this. So it's just
That's
weird.
true. We kept talking about 2 years. Today is February 16th. That's why it was 2 years ago. 2 days ago, 2 years before that, the Slow Rush came out. I realized we were talking about when it came out and never like the dates of any of that.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
A lot of fucking little. This album's full of
Kevin
love,
Parker, little lover boy.
Kevin Parker, certified lover boy.
Certified banger maker, bro.
Absolutely,
he is a banger maker. This album's good. I personally am more of a Currents person. I think Currents might be my top. Actually, no, I don't know why I said it might be. It is definitely my top like Tame album, and maybe like top 20 all albums. I really love Currents, but this album is also very good. When it first came out, I was kind of like, because it's a little different. It's not as much like synth wall in this one. There are moments, but it's not like as much. And so it kind of, I like listened to it a couple times and then I like kind of dismissed it. But this week I have recently listened to it again and I'm like, you know what? I was sleeping on this shit.
Dude, I would agree that Currents, I would have to say, is also my favorite. But so I was senior year of college, like I'd been waiting for this album. I was at this bar in Chapel Hill, just getting wasted Valentine's Day, and I knew that this album was coming out. And so like I go back to my apartment at like 3 a.m. and like immediately get on Spotify, put on the Bluetooth speakers, and I was just like, holy fuck, like been waiting 5 years for this guy. I don't know. I love this album. But I will say, I think the reason I like this album not more than Currents, but I think it was a good follow-up, is I feel like this is the first album where like every single song this dude is kind of like almost exuding confidence. I think in Currents and before that, I feel like he was like questioning himself as like a musician a little bit kind of. And in this one, like, I can see that. He like in like Breathe Deeper, he's like, Breathe Deeper's like, oh, you didn't think that I could do this? Believe me, I can. And like, I don't know. Yeah. To me, I'm like, this guy is finally realizing that like he's as good as other people have said that he is, and I think he shows it. He shows out right in that album.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Like towards the end of Currents, there's that song "'Cause I'm a Man," and that's like one of the only like more outwardly confident songs on that album that I can think of. A lot of the other ones, like The Less I Know the Better, he's like torn about like some like ex that he sees in a club or something, and like there's a song literally called Love / Paranoia that's like talking about the similarities or like the overlap between those two feelings, and like
kind of like Vista Kicks on Adam's episode.
Yeah, I forget what song that is, but I know what
Love
you're talking
and Paranoia.
about. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. There we go. But I'm a fake fan. Sorry, Vista Kicks. Sorry, Adam. But
I'm telling Adam right now.
But yeah, I'm with you guys. I like when we did our albums of all time episode, Currents was my number 10 album of all time, and I'm not super confident if it would still be sitting there, but it is my favorite Tame Impala album. I would say that.
Okay.
Definitively.
We'll have to see when we do our next, like this year's episode of our top 10 albums of all time to see how it fluctuates.
That's a long time away.
True.
Jordan, how did you like the album?
Oh yeah, good.
Also, had you had any prior experience with Tame Impala?
We did an album, right? A different album.
No.
We've never done a Tame Impala album?
We haven't. You're probably thinking of either an Alt J album or a Glass Animals.
Dude, I swear we've done. Are you sure?
Yes. I am. I can. Do you want me?
I
to
would know because I would.
I can.
I would know because I probably would have picked it.
No, I'm telling
you, we did one
because we've listened to. Well, we haven't done Zaba, but between Dreamland and Awesome Wave and How to Be a Human Being, I'm sure that like you've heard that and it sounds very similar to a lot of Tame, and then you're like, your brain was like, oh, we've done this, but we actually haven't.
You know,
why did I?
You know, like The Less I Know the Better, right? Like the Tame Impala song with like 600 million streams.
I don't know. Maybe if I heard it,
you'd probably know it if you heard it.
Let It Happen. I feel like you'd also probably recognize.
Yeah, that one's my favorite Tame song of all time.
I don't know. You guys still put a lot of faith in me.
Nick, did you say The Less I Know the Better has 600 million streams?
Yeah.
On Spotify, it has 964 million streams.
That was an old stat.
billion.
Sorry about that.
Fake fan.
350 million off. But
yeah, Let It Happen might be my favorite Tame song as well.
But okay, sorry. I was gonna say, as far as the album goes, I found myself vibing to it a little more than I thought I would.
Really?
Yeah,
we gotta get Jordan some fucking shrooms immediately.
A couple songs like I think It Might Be Time or Lost in Yesterday, Posthumous Forgiveness. Then there was one, I think it was either I think it was Lost in Yesterday. Either that or On Track, I can't remember. But a couple of those I was just like, you know, cleaning my room some days or trying to like meal prep or something. I was just like, okay,
I figured
bobbing
you
my
would,
head a little bit too.
Yeah. I figured you'd like the like just the rhythmic nature of it. Like it's like I I am initially like my analysis was that like this album was a little more house-ish, like house genre style than Currents was, but that's definitely not true for the whole album. Like for Tomorrow's Dust and like On Track, like those aren't housey at all, but they're still like incredible songs. They're just like a little more like lyrically contemplative, but like he still does crazy shit with the synths and like
yeah, no, the like, immediately the synths are what like pick it up like okay, because like you can tell I mean obviously songs are gonna differentiate a little bit, but like you could tell kind of like how an album is. Well, actually, I actually don't even want to say that anymore. I don't want to put like a whole album in a box based on like its first song, but like some albums are like that. Some albums
yeah,
are like
for sure.
That.
Some are, and some are very different, and some kind of like ebb and flow.
Yeah, so I guess that's not like super accurate to say, but I liked the first song, and I was hopeful for the rest of the songs, and then it was yeah, there's a couple here and there that I liked, a couple that I didn't, but overall it was pretty enjoyable.
If I could draw a brief connection with your analysis of the songs that you liked on Women in Music Part 3 by Haim, like you liked the more electronic songs, I could see you liking this album at least a little bit because of that.
Okay.
And I'm glad it sounds like you did a little bit. So.
I did.
I'm enjoying the scholarly discussion we're having right now.
Los Angeles.
You liked Tame Impala too, fellow white man. Oh.
What a surprise! Wow. I will say what you're saying about house music. This is the first Tame Impala album that like I just wanted to dance to, man. Like,
yeah,
I found myself to a lot of those songs, like "Breathe Deeper" for especially that one. Like,
absolutely,
it makes me want to fucking dance.
Bro, breathe deeper. If I'm in the right headspace, it's my favorite track on this album. Like that is one where if you put in headphones and you're not sober with whatever your vice of choice is, it is so easy to like
sex.
If you like close your eyes and really listen to the music, okay? You could absolutely like lose your place in space and time. It's like Gemini off of Sound and Color for me. It's super easy to just fully envelop yourself in the sound, and then it's like you're fucking transported away from like reality. I fucking love that song.
What do you think about the Lil Yachty remix?
It's alright.
I have not. Yeah,
I haven't heard it.
Love most of the remixes that he puts out for his shit.
Dude, I was a hater of the Lil Yachty remix. I was like, oh, this sucks. But the more I listen to it, I'm like, yet again, I want to fucking dance. Until I'm like,
maybe I've got to
you need to give it a few listens. Yeah, I fuck with it.
Yeah,
I like it.
I need to break through that wall. Like some songs I listen to and I'm like, yeah, that's good. And then like I just come across it again like a month later and I play it again and I'm like, it like just suddenly takes on like a whole new wave for me for some reason.
No, I know.
I gotta get on my Lil Yachty shit.
Dude, Lil Yachty's really good. I don't know.
I liked Lil Yachty's first like the boat tape or whatever with like Minnesota and all that. I thought that was good.
Minnesota and One Night.
Yeah, dude. That whole tape was great. But after that, I
haven't listened to all of it. I've only listened to the bangers.
I heard
I should listen to
the humdingers.
the Lil Yachty humdingers. I heard Breathe Deeper on like a pre-concert playlist that like the artist had put together in Houston, and it was just like out of the concert speakers. God, it was legendary.
Dude, it's a great song, man. Like,
okay,
I'd say
I
that's
was
my favorite.
By what? Okay.
Oh, that's your favorite song?
I mean, it's
yeah,
crazy.
off of this album, yeah, for sure. My favorite off of this album.
Yeah.
That one, if
Either
I had
that
to,
one or Borderline is my favorite.
See, I'm not a big Borderline fan.
Me either.
Really?
I liked the original one that he put out before the album came out, instead of this remastered version. There's still great songs, but like if I had to pick a few songs to listen off this album and that was all I could listen to, that would not be one.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I just like the synth and the bounciness of it a lot.
I do love like the
too.
little like bouncy like walk up down like riff that he does in the chorus, and then like it does that, and then it transitions into the flute. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's
Bro,
kind of a
that flute is fucking nuts.
yeah, it's kind of like a strange, interesting choice, but it's just right, you know. It's like it's just quirked up enough, if you will.
Qu-
He is a little bit of a quirked up white boy.
Nick used that word on purpose, dude.
You know I did. You know I'm going crazy in the suit tonight.
You already know, Nick.
I know Nick going fucking crazy.
But yeah. But Borderlines, I like it, but it's not one of my favorites. I know that's kind of a thing that like a bunch of people wanted him to re-release the single version, and I don't think he ever did.
Yeah, I don't think he ever did either. I don't know if do you guys know the song Patience that came out before this
Yes.
album as well? I was really hoping for that one to be on this album. I was disappointed that it was just like a single that came out before. I love
Did he ever say like
the
if
bongos
he's
in that
gonna
song?
release it
Oh.
or anything?
Yes, sir.
Has he ever said like if it's gonna be like, I don't know, like a part of another project, or if
It's
just,
on,
like, that's what it is?
It's like it's with the Lil Yachty remix of Breathe Deeper.
Oh.
There's another song called
Gotcha.
No Choice that he released. Like they're gonna be on like a B-sides and remixes.
Yeah, like a deluxe
little thing.
version. I think
Yeah.
I think
Gotcha.
I got you.
somebody was saying he might release a deluxe version this month, but that'll have like the No Choice Borderline remix, Little Yachty one, and I think there's one more. I think he's gonna release like 15-minute long. What's that song called? One More Year, which also is a top one for me. Love that fucking the synths on that.
It's a good one. It's really good. Mm-hmm.
I do love the synth on that too.
I'd say that one is similar to Let It Happen from Currents. Like I think they both serve their purpose as like the first song of the album. Had a similar vibe to me at least.
I feel like
I'd agree with that.
the drop like into the most exciting or energetic part of the song in One More Year is more subtle, but somehow it still has just as much of an effect as the drop in Let It Happen. Like in Let It Happen, you know when it's gonna happen when the music cuts out and then it all comes back in like really hard when there's like a minute and a half left of the song. And One More Year, it just feels more subtle to me. Maybe it doesn't to other people, but like
I think it's definitely much more gradual when compared to like Let It Happen for sure.
I would agree.
But I enjoy it just as much. It's a great one. I didn't love it the first time I heard it, but it grew on me a lot.
Yeah, I think that's you could say this about that or that about this album as a whole. Like
Yeah.
I think it's I think Currents is just a tough one to follow up, especially when you have a fan base like he does, and like I don't know, I don't think people were expecting this.
Yeah, because this one, I mean, it's especially compared to Currents, and like if you're waiting 5 years for it, you're either gonna like really fuck with it or you're gonna be let down. I feel like because there's still a lot of moments where it's back to like the hallmark like super synth wall shit from Currents, but there's also a lot more just like rock-ish kind of shit, and so it's like I don't know. I definitely understood a lot of the letdown that people had. They're like, I wanted to. Because a lot of the fan base, especially with Currents and that kind of thing, like there's someone I know who they were like, yeah, the first time I like did acid was at a Tame Impala show, and so like there's that side of people. And with this album, I don't think those people are gonna get out of it the same that they do from Currents. So, and that's probably like, you know, I mean, that's a decent chunk of like the Tame Impala fan base. Like that's all I knew about them is they were like a trippy psych band until I actually like started listening to them. So
Well,
they
I feel
kinda have
like
that reputation in them.
I don't
would
know.
agree.
I don't know the desired effect that someone has when they're taking acid besides just like having fun, like seeing like cool stuff. But I feel like I feel like you would have like
That
a.
description was so funny.
But I feel like
That description was so funny.
oh yeah, I got you. Yeah. But I got it very bare bones. Yes, people do drugs to have fun. That is the
Say
goal.
doo-doo?
Doo-doo? Like I feel like some of the drum hits in like One More Hour, or like when there's like a ton of reverb and it sounds like everything's just panning like all like back and forth through your head, like from ear to ear on this album. I feel like that's like a, you know, in Doctor Strange when Tilda Swinton like hits him with the like weird move and like knocks his soul out of his body.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that happens on the drum hits at a Tame Impala show. Like if you're on
It
acid,
probably
like,
would, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, absolutely. Yeah, you're about to be on the fucking astral plane
yeah.
if you hear that.
Tame Impala induces ego death onto like onto like a fifth of his audience members.
But I think what you're talking about could go back to, like, I think Currents was just a lot more emotional, a little bit more introspective than this is, kind of. I think he's more personally in, like, if you really looked at what he was singing about or talking about, like, I think he's looking more into himself personally, like, whereas Currents I feel like is a little more relatable to, like, everybody. Not to say that this isn't, but
Right.
I feel like that's what he was trying to do with that album, and I feel like with an experience like that, it would be a lot easier for you to be, like, more connected to Currents than you would this one. Because I just think he's talking about two different feelings and experiences, I think. But I would say,
and I think he gets
I would say that, like, the overall trippiness, quote unquote, of the album, I think it's just the same. I don't think you're losing any of it. I just think it's a different way that he accomplishes it.
That's true. I could also see that as well.
Yeah, because it's like it's a different but similar feeling, like the stacked crazy synths on like on Nangs from Currents to like crazy like spaced out drum hits that are on this album. I know that's one thing I've heard Kevin Parker talk about in interviews is listener, if you don't know, Kevin Parker is the one guy from Tame Impala. I had to do that. I had to be the guy who said Tame Impala is just one guy. But
We also
Dude,
talked about it last
I
week,
still
too,
feel like before
so.
last week I forgot that fact. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's funny that we did a podcast on Andy Schaaf before we did one on Kevin Parker, because like I feel like Kevin Parker is the most famous one-man band guy, like one-man studio band guy, but Andy Schaaf is the first person that we ever like covered on the pod who was like technically.
Who's Andy Schaaf?
He's
He was the fire truck guy. No.
the album is called the Neon Skyline. I gave it a 10. You guys didn't like it that much.
You know,
Exactly.
I heard somebody
Got a
was
clarinet on it.
telling me that Boston, also a one-man band, when he cut the demo for like the record label, it was just him playing all the instruments, and they were like, "We need you to tour, man. Like, you need a band."
Now that you say that, I vaguely remember that. And then he was like, "Oh shit, these people, you wanna do something?" What?
That guy, I think he was an electrical engineer, right? And he was like, yeah. I think I heard that he was like very particular with his equipment, and then he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make this shit, and he
I do remember
made a
that.
lot of
I
his
think
own
he tried
stuff.
to do some shit. Yep.
That was really funny.
But you know, I forgot what I was gonna say about this album, but we got a little sidetracked. I sidetracked
That you
myself.
love it.
We talked about album art last week. Album art for this one.
Incredible.
I really like the album art for this one. I feel like that was another one that like people overall were a little disappointed in. I feel like Currents was like not a real place. I feel like it was kind of interesting that this is a real place that he had somebody take picture of and edit and whatnot.
Is it? I didn't know. So this isn't like just someone drawing it. Like this is an edited real place.
No, yeah, this is there's like some artist, I don't know the name, but he took pictures of these houses in, I want to say Namibia, but I could also be wrong about that. Somewhere in Africa, and like they were full of sand, and there's like a whole series of them. But I think they took those pictures and edited them. I could be wrong about that though. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure.
Everything we say on this podcast comes with a disclaimer that we're probably not right. So you're
here's
you're
one
fine.
where someone made like a currents edit with the slow rush. They keyed it.
Huh?
Yeah, so there's this dude named
I think Neil Krug.
Yeah, in Namibia.
Neil Craig, the Krug.
Currents was actually
cool ass pictures.
Currents was actually a real picture too. They took it inside of a pinball machine. And,
Shut up, bro.
A pinball machine, aka a wind tunnel that's showing laminar flow versus turbulent flow.
Is that what it is?
Engineer.
Okay, we get it.
I'm
you
pretty
don't
sure,
have
I'm pretty
sex.
Sure
I'm kidding.
Jamie,
I'm
the
pretty
only
sure that-
married man on the podcast.
I know, for real.
Could be an argument
I'm
for
pretty
not
sure
having sex.
it's like an aerodynamics of a pinball.
Interesting.
Wait,
That's
actually,
what I've always thought it. Yeah, I mean, because it's showing the like laminar straight flow.
I
and
mean,
then
it
it's
like
all,
looks like
turbulent.
that, but then again, it's like, why would Tame Impala?
Currents, air currents.
Yeah.
But again, what?
Listener, if you want to look
Dude,
up
like,
something
yes?
incredibly
Dude.
boring, look up laminar flow.
Exactly. That's what I'm
laminar
saying.
flow
I'm like,
is
what?
Sick, bro.
Do y'all have, if you look at the physical copy of that album, like, and you look behind the lines, there's stuff behind it,
Okay.
like stuff written behind it.
What?
Yes.
Really? I'm gonna have to cop.
The lore of the album, dude.
I saw it at like a local record store around here, and it
Dude,
was
that's
like
an instant cop, bro.
You didn't pick it up?
It was kind of marked up. It was like $35, and I was like, that's kind of.
That's a bag
No,
you're gonna
dude,
have to
That's how much I
drop.
got the
That's
Pop
an
Smoke
instant bag. That is
Shoot
an
for the
instant
Stars, Aim for the Moon album for, bro.
Yeah, I'm copping for 35 for sure. I'm pretty sure I probably.
Dude, you gotta sell
Anything
out for
under
your
50,
homies, bro.
Anything under 50, I'm picking up.
Yeah,
That album.
dude, I was trying
Damn,
to.
bro.
After I went and saw Billy Strings, I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick up his final album.
What a guy.
Turmoil and Tinfoil goes for $500, dude.
Yeah. God.
Was it like super limited? What?
I have no
what
clue.
the
I was
hell?
like, what the hell is this?
That's crazy.
Bro, honestly, just let me buy that shit. let me resell it.
It's
That-
a
An
real
NFT,
life
he's gonna
NFT,
Sell
bro.
that. He's gonna flip it.
NFT, dude.
I googled the Phantom Thread soundtrack, like the score for the movie on like I googled it, nothing came up. I went on Discogs, and like the only thing that came up was like I think it was like someone trying to sell a test pressing or something, and it was like $300 or
Okay.
something, and I was like, oh, hell no. Like,
Dude, vinyl
Oh, the
prices
test
are
pressing?
crazy.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
that's true.
I tried to buy Young Thug Barter 6. That's like a $200 album, bro.
God, what the
Dude,
hell?
I need to start, dude, reselling. If you can get good at reselling and have like a bot, dude, you can make so
I think
much
it would
money.
be tough with
Jordan,
albums though,
after
because
getting
like
Yeah.
after getting
You
an
gotta find
NFT,
the
and then you're
artist
describing
early.
being a scalper off of albums. Do you not realize how vilified you're making yourself? Like,
Okay,
the
listen,
worst
listen,
people
listen.
in the world are bot writing scalpers who then upsell things.
Yes. Okay. So there. You know what?
Yes, I agree
Dude,
with you,
there's too much.
but
There's
I
too
can
much to
make
get
money.
into this.
there's too much of a
There's
bag
too much to get into this, right?
How is there more than that?
Well, because there's two avenues, right? Like again, if there's 500 people doing something and like one more person does it, like wait, just wait, you know, like it doesn't really change that much, but that is one more person doing something that isn't that great. You know, I get that part. But it's like if you've ever like gotten, again, I don't really look at Supreme that much. Like every once in a while they'll have something cool, but like if you've ever even like tried to get anything like popular, like it's literally in under a second everything sells out. So like
Right. So why would you,
You
want
can't-
to
you
make
can't-
that
you-
problem worse?
so he can get
I
that
don't even know that's-
bag, bro.
I don't even know that's worse. You're going from 1 second to 0.9999 seconds, and then like
look.
you know,
If everybody is throwing a water bottle out of their window every day while they're driving down the road, why can't you do it, dude?
No, see,
Yeah,
that's
if everyone's
that's,
around me is racist, what if I'm a little bit racist? You know,
No,
See,
but
that's-
I think
that's-
I think the analogy
that's
is
the
like,
argument I need.
if 500 people were throwing a water bottle out of their car and they're getting paid $500 each, like why wouldn't I throw my water bottle out of the car and get paid $498? Everybody else gets paid $498, but I'm still getting
and-
paid.
You just drastically
technically the water
shifted
bottle-
this argument, and I might be on your side now, Austin.
well,
See,
but-
no.
so
Also,
it's-
the water bottle
do you
has an
wanna
environmental
sacrifice-
impact as
do
well.
you wanna
Okay.
yeah, and this has a monetary impact for like real fans of something.
Yeah,
You're
but,
making
like-
someone who's a real fan of an album pay more money.
But you could also say
But what I'm
like
saying-
it's more valuable because they care about it, and so like same thing with this Billy Strings shit. Like you're selling it for $500.
That
Like I like Billy Strings. I'm not gonna pay $500 for it, but like
Right.
super fan out
Someone
there
will.
probably will. And like so that's
Capitalizing on someone's stupidity to pay an enormous
and like
amount
let's say
of money
the
for something.
original owner of the album really loves the album, and they don't want to part with it for anything less than $500. Like I don't think that that's unfair. Like that's their
No,
asking
that
price.
makes sense. But a scalping thing where you don't care about the product, like all the people who scalp like PS5s and Xboxes, and you're just doing it to then flip. It's like if everyone goes, I'm just one more person in the machine, then that's
Dude,
everyone
it's hard-
adding
But-
to it.
but
What's-
wait, what if
it's-
you're-
do you have personal like do you? I think it just comes down to like an ethics thing, right? Because there's not a right or a wrong answer. It's just do you have like a spine, or do you just want? A
I think
payout
Whoa,
I think
whoa,
it's I think
spine,
it's
right,
not
no,
I
spine
think
is a
it's
hard
not
word.
I don't think it's a bad thing though, because like it's not like this dude's out here like hoarding all the water and then selling it to people who are thirsty.
right? It's,
Like
I mean, it's
Jordan's
not
selling
like
that.
that.
he's
It's
selling
just like whatever
he's selling
consumerist
Supreme
product.
for a little bit extra than you would normally
Exactly.
pay for.
What-
Like it's not
what if
harming
you're-
anybody
I
than
think there's
somebody
also-
that would
there's
already
differences-
pay a
there's
buttload out
differences
the ass for
between-
Supreme.
Yeah.
Right, and I think that it varies based on what product you're talking about, right? Like I don't think I wouldn't equate
Yeah.
album sales to the same level of just like generic streetwear or whatever, right?
But that's also because you are thinking specifically of an album that you would want and that you would want to get, whereas you would never really want a streetwear.
I mean,
you know?
I still think it's
streetwear.
it's shitty no matter how you do it, no matter what the realm is. I just don't feel as strongly because I'm not impacted. But it's still
Yeah.
like if everyone goes, I'm just one person, what am I doing? Then I mean, any change for anything is built off of individuals coalescing. So if no one's doing
get that.
then
I-
there's going to be
I do
no
get
change.
that.
But
that.
what if you're doing it something? What if you're reselling something that doesn't matter, that is terrible and ugly looking, like Lyrical Lemonade merch? What if you're doing that? That could.
Oh
be,
well, that's fine. That's
yeah.
no problem there. No problem. No problem.
That I feel like I'm gonna write some kind of insane bot. I'm gonna learn how to code in whatever I need to code to write a bot, write a script to just buy everything on all the Lyrical Lemonade drops.
And just
I'm
make
gonna
a
buy
ton of
like
money.
It's not
10
that
laptops, and it's just gonna be crazy.
Make a ton of money.
Bro, I was gonna show this album.
That looks good.
This is very cool. It's the Alien Coast. Austin, I don't know if
By
you
who?
listen to St. Paul and the Broken Bones, but it's the front, and then all the songs have their own little planets. And then the audio podcast boys, right? And the
Yeah.
vinyl
We
looks
should.
sick as
Oh,
shit.
the vinyl does look sick as fuck. For those of you
Yeah, it's
watching,
like-
the
it's like
vinyl is
the
clear and
smoky-
splattered.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Let's get some color commentary. Yeah, just
We'll
so it's
post
like-
it. We'll post it on Insta.
we will. Yeah, I'll take. Let me write it down on the
We,
mood
I
board.
mean, Jamie will post it on Insta. Thank you, Jamie. Very cool, of
Gotta
you,
be
Jamie.
catching mood boards.
Shawty be catching mood. But yeah, I mean, so it's like that's, and so this is all to say that I like vinyls are very cool, and I like album art. We talked about it last week. I think it's an underappreciated thing because it's so much of like a digital commodity. But I mean, there are albums where I'll buy because I'm like, oh, I like this artist, and it's gonna sound cool, and also the physical print of this is going to be sick. So I've also done that. Like that's an album I've done that with. I couldn't get my hands on a Creamsicle Reunions Jason Isbell album. Nick got that one for me though for Christmas. So
Yes, sir.
clutch. Like the Sound and Color Deluxe repressing. I don't know, like I just really love all of like because it makes it feel so much more like there's so much intention in an album. Like it's more than just a set of songs and then it's over. It's like, and that's something that I've kind of had that transition with doing this podcast and looking at music from more of an album perspective is I think about it more as a holistic piece of art. And so the physical component is just like an add-on to that. So I don't know. I just feel like it's slept on and not
I would agree.
enough.
I think with digital format, like people forget that like you just said, people are putting together like a whole thing that has a lot of intention and it has like from what it looks like to how it sounds to like what they say has like a meaning. And when you don't listen to a whole album, I feel like you're missing out a lot on that. Like you could listen to one Tame Impala song like off this album and you'd get a whole different feel for the whole thing than you would if you listened to the whole thing through.
Absolutely. Like if you just listen to Breathe Deeper, or if you just listen to like Is It True or something, you wouldn't get the whole picture like if you listen to On Track or One More Hour or something like that. Like there's a lot more depth to it. And like even when an album isn't strictly a concept album, you can tell when there's more intention put into the track listing, or like even when the songs don't necessarily relate to each other, if there's a common like theme. Well, I guess if there's a common theme, it kind of is a concept album. But like, I don't know. You can usually tell when there's more intention put behind it.
Yeah,
and I'm with you, Jamie. I enjoy it.
I think a great one for that is Azaba by the Glass Animals. The fact that anyone like could queue up just a song from that album is crazy to me. I mean, like, because Gooey got like insanely popular, right? And it's a great song, and I will queue up songs from it, but that's only because I've listened to that album like over 100 times. Like, if someone just off the rip, they were like, yeah, I'm kind of like a casual like Glass Animals fan-ish, but they were like, yeah, I just listen to JD&T. Throw that on the queue. Like, that album is entirely vibes, and it's all like pieced together and flows into each other. But if you were to just queue up one song from that, anarchy, honestly.
I feel you. I say I feel you, and I've never listened to the full album.
We'll do it for this podcast at some point, and that's gonna be a trip to figure out how to discuss that album. But we got to do it. We've already done Dreamland and How to Be a Human Being.
True. We got to round it off.
But it's definitely their most abstract, like left field jungle noises, and it's great though. Lyrics are
anyways, back to the better alt pop indie psychedelic rock.
I've never listened to this album, but I know this is better.
I've listened to snippets.
Motherfucker wears a suit one time.
I'm going crazy.
He is right though, Jamie.
What?
I will say I haven't listened. I've listened to How to Be a Human Being, but not that album that you're talking about. I know.
Oh, dude,
don't kill me, bro.
Their whole discog, crazy. I mean, their whole like they're all tens.
I fuck with Glass.
Bro, you don't know Heat Waves, bro. You don't know Heat Waves. Sometimes I like thinking about these.
That song was my top song of last year, I think.
Dude, it literally went like this, and then it went like this.
Yeah, because wasn't it popular on TikTok? Didn't people know about it through that?
I think so.
I don't know. I remember listening. Well, I saved it. I saved it whenever you showed us, because you made us listen to it pretty early when it came out, right?
Oh, that's because ever since that was I think it was the third single before Dreamland itself came out, and I've been fucking with it since then. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so we listened to it pretty early. I listened to it, and then after that, you don't know how many restaurants I heard it in. Like, you do not like there was multiple times where I'd say, "Look, it's this song again." It's like Audrey or like my parents, like when we were on vacation, I'd be like literally I think we went to oh my gosh, where did we go to? We went to the beach somewhere. I can't even remember where. I'll be honest.
Was it like Myrtle Beach?
No, it was like more like.
Bro, I was just picturing a bunch of like people down at Myrtle Beach, like, "Hey man, what the hell is this on them?"
No. It was like. It would. I swear, there's like three different seafood restaurants we went to, and they were all like just playing it at some point.
Oh, it was like, huge. I mean, it was for sure one of like the songs of the summer, I would say, on both radio and in my ears. Dude, my top 5 songs from last year were all Glass Animals. None of them were from How to Be a Human Being, and
That's
6
crazy.
of my top 10
Disappointed.
were. I think all of Dreamland is on this list. And hey, Nike's was my fucking 8th most listened song. All right.
You
Okay.
need to go to therapy.
I listened to a lot of Blonde last year.
That's scary.
Dang, yeah, you do need to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Round the city, round my cock,
Run my city, run my cock.
round my bussy, round my cock.
Dude,
Nobody needs
I
you.
was disappointed that his new album never came out.
Yeah.
Like, what the
Shit,
hell?
never dropping
dude?
ever, buddy.
Frank, where the
Like, come on,
But
Frank.
how funny would it be with all of like Kanye going crazy if Frank was just like, "Hey, here's my album,"
Doop,
just like
here you go.
popped in. Here you go.
I started
and then
watching
he just
the-
fucking dibs.
Kanye series also.
Is it good?
Is it out?
Yeah, it came out today. It's pretty good, honestly. It is a lot of him before all this stuff, so it's actually like
Before
Pretty good.
breaking down and like
Before
publicly
Skeet?
displaying like harassing your old family and everything.
yes. Like it's hard to watch knowing how he is right now, but like dead ass, like his friend like believed in him and started making a documentary like before like in 2000 like before he even released an album. That's like the whole premise is like, oh, I can't like his name's Cody. He was like yeah.
Oh?
No, he was like, yeah, Kanye hasn't even released an album yet, but I believe in this guy, so I'm gonna move to New York and forget my TV show and actually just stay behind the camera and record Kanye for 20 years, which he did.
You wanna know what? Do you guys know what Frank Ocean's birth name is?
Oh, man.
Frankward Oceana.
Squidward something. I don't know what.
It's Christopher Bro,
Oh, wow, that's a badass name.
spelled Breaux.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow,
Oh, yes.
that's
It's like-
even more
it's
badass,
French,
dude.
too. No, that's where the fuck. Is Frank
Christopher
Ocean?
Bray.
How do you get Frank?
Christopher
How do you
Bray.
get Frank Ocean from that, man?
Monsieur.
You doing to random name generator? But
Childish Gambino.
back to the album,
Yeah, back to
possibly.
Back to this album.
Posthumous Forgiveness is one that I liked a lot. I don't know if
The
you
bass
guys.
line in that is fucking
Dude.
sick for the part 1.
Yeah, that was like the first song I think I liked a lot.
Did you prefer like part 1 or part 2?
Mm,
I'm a part 2 man myself.
Really? I don't know. I like the tension in part 1.
There is a hell of tension in the first part. When I first listened to
I mean,
that
yeah,
song,
'cause
I was
it's
like,
like-
"Oh
yeah.
my god!" I almost was like, "I don't want to listen to this anymore. This is not good."
Yeah,
and also
because it's like
when the album came out, that was one of the songs he dropped as a single. So my thirsty ass was out here
Really?
just sucking these songs
about
down. 'Cause I had listened to that song like 50 times before the album came out, too. And so I was like, I'm getting through the album.
bro,
And
you
I'm
were
like,
sucking them dry.
I'm like banger,
sucking
banger,
'em
banger,
off.
and then I'm like, oh great, posthumous forgiveness, dude. Like, oh.
yeah,
But
I actually don't know which one I like better, Jamie.
but I will say it's
kinda like
grown on me
both of
for
them.
sure.
Yeah, I like the kind of because it's like part 1 for the listener. If you don't want to look it up into it, part 1 is like he's like angry at his dead estranged dad. That's the posthumous, and then there's like this little between the two where it's transitioning between the two where it's like the tension's building. It boils over. It's like chaos. I love that chaos part. The extended synth notes through there. I love that middle section. And then part 2 is like the forgiveness part where it's like, oh, you know, like you're just a person and you know, I can't blame you too much. And then it's like what's he say? The last part of it's like, I wish you could hear my songs and I could hear them in your voice or something like that. Something like that,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that song also like goes to showcase again like how much more confident I perceive him in this album. Like the first half of that, I feel like there's still like, it's very doubty the way he's talking, and he's talking about like how all the mistakes his dad made, and then at the end he's like kind of like bragging to his dad, like I had Mick Jagger on the phone, like I wish you could listen to all my stuff and like see all the stuff that I'm doing. I don't know. I think it just goes back into that theme of him kind of being like, yeah, like I finally know and have accepted that I'm badass.
Yeah, I think it's
sure.
that, like recognizing that, and it's also like just realizing that like his dad was just as human as he is, and like as you grow up, like I'm speaking in a place of kind of projection here because I'm just 23 years old and I don't really have much life experience, but like I feel like the theme is like as you grow up, like you experience things, and then those things help you understand and empathize with people who have like crossed you in the past, or like people who have like hurt you in some way that you could never understand, but something happens to you, or maybe you do something and then you're like, oh shit, like now I understand their scenario because I had to go through it first. And he feels that with his dad, like he just recognizes that his dad was like falling out with his mom and couldn't be in that like situation anymore. It felt like for his own sake he couldn't be in that situation anymore, and like he just wishes. I
think a really good example of that is in like the 5th verse, the one right before the end, where he says, I know you're just a man after all, and I know you had demons, I got some of my own.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of thing where I think that was a big inflection point as far as like my personal growth goes, where I had the realization like literally everyone, no matter how old, we're all making up like life. Like everyone's going and learning. Learning is in progress. So once you think of everyone as a work in progress, then it's like, oh, a lot of stuff becomes a lot more clear. And then I find it's also easier to like articulate things to people and be like, hey, like this was a shitty thing to have done here, like, and then both people leave that with some sort of personal growth there. Yeah, I think that part of this song, that aspect, is one that's always hit really hard for me. Like it's really hit home because that's something I just like live by, is thinking about like, you know, just constantly trying to empathize and see where people are coming from, no matter what the argument or opinion is, where it's coming from. I think it makes life a lot easier because you take a much more like measured approach instead of just like knee-jerk reactions to everything.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I would agree with that.
I feel you. It's crazy how when you open your mind, like broaden your like the things that you listen to, the media that you consume, the art that you perceive, you actually do grow from a wide berth of, is that the right word? Wide berth of like perspectives and experiences, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird how sometimes when you listen to more opinions on everything, you can formulate your own and have individual thought. Almost like maybe that's why people are trying to burn books again in the year 2022.
Ridiculous shit, man.
In the modern age.
Dude, somebody told me, like, people believing in crazy shit. Somebody, like, I live in Elkin. I don't know, where are these guys from?
They're from, Nick's from, like, well, actually, we're all pretty much from a general area. Nick's from, like, right on the edge of Winston, and he's from, like, the Forbush area.
Okay.
And Jordan's from Winston almost. Yeah, out of
Clemens, North Carolina.
Clemens is. So you guys know that like
we
people
coincidentally all
in Surrey County and that area are kind of fucking dumb. They were talking about
Hurricane.
QAnon to this one dude, and this guy was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Joe Biden, he's dead." And I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah, but somebody cut his skin off and is living inside his skin." Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
It makes sense to me.
That's
what happens when you
listen to one fucking thing.
Right. When you don't think critically about information you hear. Yeah, like I always see the ones that's like our parents don't believe everything on the internet. My parents believe everything on Facebook. Yeah, like no matter how old you are. And I think that's actually an interesting thing that's coming about. I kind of have hope because in the age of like information and then misinformation as well, that's the duality of that. Like, I think it's easy to get like freaked out when you see, and like not freaked out, but like it's really easy to like let in like nihilism and stuff like that when you see like, you know, January 6th and you see just people believing just batshit lies. Like to us, it's like clear. How do you think this isn't even science or anything? But I think that's actually like, that's mostly an older person thing. Like a lot of kids who have grown up in this weird era of humankind, like even below us, you know, people who are in like high school right now and shit, where they've really grown up with the internet. Because we grew up with the internet, but we were at the tail end of like, internet is becoming this own thing. But people below us who have been fully immersed in it, I think I see a lot of people have no problem calling out like just lies on the internet. Most bullshit is spread by like 45-year-olds versus a lot of younger people. I think it's easy to get to fall into a pit of despair when you go like, oh, we're all fucked, but like
they'll be dead soon.
We're only fucked until those people kind of don't have the reins anymore. Because most young people like kind of think, I don't know if it's we think as critically or we're just disillusioned, whatever the flavor of that is. I don't know. I think it's just as a mass populace, I think the younger crowd is more like less trusting of just everything they see online. So
all I know is the grainier the Facebook screenshot, the more true it is, right? That's what I think.
Exactly, dude.
The like Facebook like text generated image that could just be a post. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I don't understand them. It's just like text with like emojis in the background and like a solid color in the background.
Yeah, like you'll see somebody who doesn't know how to use the crying laughing emoji, and it's like grandpa just died today. 50 crying laughing emojis behind it.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like that era. It's like, you know, I'm not saying it's just like, okay, once that's kind of out of the, like, that's not the most prevalent voice, and then like the disillusioned skewed younger crowd, because it's like, because I think both sides of the political aisle, like it's really easy to get into like insanity.
Yeah.
So
I'd agree.
Now, this is in no way a support of libertarianism, all right? I want to make that explicitly clear.
Disclaimer?
But I think there's fringe on both sides, and both sides suffer from, and I hate saying sides because this transcends more than just like the two-party politics in America. This is globally. Like, there's like way too far in both sides. I think you need a healthy dose of like everything to formulate your opinion and not be like crazy, you know.
It's like
militantly weird about everything.
It's like a bell curve, right? Like you know how like bell curve is like super extreme one side, super extreme on the other. Like those small percentages are always the loudest motherfuckers, dude. And that's what makes it
absolutely.
That's what sucks, is that there's like a good, like you're saying, a good percentage of people that are like rational and know how to do research and like know how to not be crazy, but the people that open their mouth the most are the people that are the ones that don't know how to do that.
The ones that treats politics like sports. That's what I think of as, where they're like, we're on team whatever. I'm like, that is a toxic mentality to have. That is, your goal is not to win. Your goal is to empower the marginalized and help those who can't help themselves.
Just be a good guy. Yeah.
That should be your goal. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's surprising whenever I tell people, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like pretty left leaning, and they're like, oh wow, Joe Biden sucks. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, he does.
he does. He fucking sucks too.
Yeah,
like they like the whole lot of them. And so yeah, and I don't know. It's it's something my dad would kind of tell me about things. It's like we grew up in like a left leaning household, but it was like we were taught more not like vote one way or the other, but just like care about people and whatever that looks like. Do that. And then the Ava brothers say it best with one of my favorite lines by them: your life doesn't change by the man that's elected.
It's a good song.
Yeah, I think that's a timeless bar for me. I think that all the time, where it's like, I mean, there are public appearances and like, you know, what people are condoning and everything, but ultimately, like, if you make differences on a personal level, that's going to be much more important than like anyone in a public office. So, I mean, local elections are one thing, but that's, I don't know.
Go off, Jamie.
You could say
you know?
some people are lost in yesterday while others are still on track.
Let's go. Let's go.
What's he say? I'm basically on track.
Strictly
or something
speaking,
like that?
I'm still on track. Good stuff.
I can't.
Transition God. We just let it fall flat. I'm sorry about that, Austin.
It's okay.
Dude, that
No,
was
I
a
definitely
fucking
okay.
incredible.
On track, I didn't like as much. I'll be honest. It was
didn't like
it
On
was a
Track?
little slow for me. It was a little slow for me.
Well, that's to be expected.
I like that song. I mean, I like every song off this album, but I really like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one
right.
too.
Well, yeah.
I think
On Track's good.
I know it's
like
like ballady, and I don't know. I really like it.
Yeah. It's like
It's more like guitar centered as well. It's not a synthy. I don't feel like. I mean, it's still there, but like it's definitely more of like
Yeah.
a rock song. Like I feel like that's one you'd hear on the radio, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, of all the ones on here that like would get radio play, I would say that would probably in that camp.
I hadn't listened to it in a long time, and I forgot how full it gets from the beginning, where it's pretty sparse, and like how much it like swells in the middle and kind of dies down again, and I enjoyed it. Good stuff.
It takes you on a journey.
You big swell guy.
I'm a big swell guy.
You like
But,
being swollen.
Wait.
What do y'all think?
What was I gonna
What do y'all think
burst?
about Glimmer? That's a song that I have discussed with people a lot. I get mixed reactions.
I think it's good to just like let it rock. Like if you're listening
Yeah.
to it out of like out of like an entertainment center, or like some speakers for the whole room, or just in your car, just like chilling.
Yeah.
I just let it play through. It's only like 2 minutes. Like a good little.
Yeah, I think of
groovy
it kind
intro.
of like Nangs a little bit in the same way, where it's like, you know, sometimes it doesn't hit, and then but most of the time it's like good enough, and then it's like, you know, under 2 minutes, so it's like
Yeah,
Yeah, that is
easy
true.
listen.
I think of it like Gossip from
Yeah,
from Currents. Yeah.
Yeah.
How it's kind of like the prelude to the next song. Like for a long time I was just listening to Currents like all the way through, and then one time I heard The Less I Know the Better without hearing Gossip beforehand, and I was like, this feels weird. Like I feel like I need to hear Gossip before I hear like The Less I Know.
on the Currents vinyl, when you play like the whatever side that Gossip is on, Gossip ends one side, so you have to get up, flip the record to then get to The Less I Know the Better. It's just
Damn.
like
That's tragic.
it is
That's like-
tragic.
There's a good album by the band Spoon. It's called the album's They Want My Soul, and there's one song. There's two songs in the album. The end of one song like pans like all the way through like from like right to left, I think, and then the left. Then the next song starts like I can't remember if it sounds fluid, and then when that song ends, it like goes out the other ear like it was like traveling in the same direction. It's a weird thing, but like in between those songs, that's where you have to flip the vinyl for that album too. And
Yeah, come on, guys.
yeah,
Figure out
Got
the vinyl technology better.
come on, ridiculous.
Yeah. Having to
It's-
get up
it's-
and flip that shit.
Decades old. I need a vinyl
Nick-
that's just big as fuck. That's just like an enormous pizza, and it just
Give me
plays all the way
48-inch
through.
vinyl.
Yeah,
Bruh, stop, dude.
have to build a record player to play it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Dude, Nick,
Incredible.
I forgot. I'll tell you who it is after, but I bought a vinyl from a thrift shop
Oh yeah.
that was $2, and I listened to the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot you have a.
And
you
it's
have a
like
record
not-
player now.
And it's like not like the music I'd listen to either.
Okay.
This is like, I cannot remember what the name of it is. I wish I could. I can't. I'll tell you after. But it's not on Spotify either.
Oh really?
Oh, wow.
So you can't look it up.
Really
Yeah,
digging through
yeah.
crates.
Yeah.
Jordan Moore.
Well,
crate
honestly, I
digger.
bought it. I bought it because I like the album cover.
I've done that.
Actually, here, wait. Let me.
I've done that a number of times.
Yeah, go
Like
get
a-
it. I'm curious.
Yeah. I have a vinyl hanging on my wall that also coincidentally isn't on Spotify. I didn't know that when I bought it, but it's from like an old '80s band that has like 5 other albums on Spotify, but this one isn't for some reason. But they're called Pablo Cruz, and I'll have to send a picture for Jamie to post this week with the album because it's like it's great album art. It's like turtles playing ping pong.
What'd
hell
you say
yeah.
the name of it was?
It's called Meg. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
This is what
wow.
it looks like. It's called.
Jordan, I don't know
Meg
what
Christian
the fuck
Face the
that is.
Music.
I'm gonna
Let's
need a
go.
picture for that.
It's like Keith Haring.
Nick,
art
what were
on
you
the-
saying there?
Yeah. It is kind of like Keith Haring-esque. Yeah, but
It says. Oh, wait, never mind.
I
Sorry.
was talking about a band that isn't on Spotify. Jordan said the album that he thrifted isn't on Spotify, and
I don't think so. Wait, let me see.
and yeah, I'll have to send you a picture of the vinyl.
Yeah, I have one
But
like
good
that. It's an album called Dream On by George Duke. And the album cover is just a keytar floating in space. I was like,
Let's
gotta
go.
get this.
fuck yeah.
Gotta get it.
I've got a little
Hell
deep
yes.
cut called Led Zeppelin 4.
Oh,
Don't know if
yeah.
you guys have heard of it or not, but
That-
dig
that-
it. Oh, there you go.
That was on this. I was spinning that yesterday.
It was the power
Hell
of Led
yes.
Zeppelin. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, you've got one too? Yeah, I got it from one of those, like, I didn't get mine, like, special,
Like
resale or
You didn't get, like, a
original copy. I
repress?
got it.
Flex, yeah, flex.
No, I got it from Barnes and Noble, so I was guaranteed it was fresh off. The,
Oh, I got
record
you.
label.
I literally.
Impressive.
I knew it.
I got mine.
mind, I was gonna
Mine's
say.
original pressing. I got it in Elkin.
Let's go.
Lucky.
That's fucking sick.
But the-
I wish mine
the
was
album
mine was original
cover
pressing.
is fucked, and the album sleeve is fucked. But I was just like, whatever. I'm
Yes,
getting
sir.
this. For
But it's
sure.
Zeppelin 4. That's sick
Yeah,
as fuck.
exactly.
That's how I have that.
Stairway, Black Dog, When the Levee Breaks.
I think it's the debut album by Heart. Like Crazy on You.
Okay.
I have that like on vinyl, and I bought it for like $15, even though it was old as hell, because I was like they had like the rating on there like very good, and I was like, okay, it should sound good, and it
Yeah,
does.
might as well.
Oh yeah, dude, Heart slept on. Like
Heart
I know
is
people
incredible.
know Barracuda.
Yeah,
after,
Crazy on
after,
You is good. Guitar Hero 3.
Crazy on
I work
Dude,
out.
it's some
I work out to
good-ass
Magic
shit,
Man
man.
sometimes. It's a great song.
Go
It's in the playlist.
crazy on you.
Yeah, bangers, man. People sleep on it. A lot of people work out to like angry rap and shit, which I do that too. I'm not saying I don't do that, but a slept on like workout playlist is like 80s rock. 80s rock is such a good genre of music to work out to. I have like 4 playlists saved on Spotify of different like 80s rock workout like mixes. I need to make my own. I need to like, pull the best from it.
I saw Cherry Pie in your workout playlist, and I was like, what the hell? And then I listened to it, and I was like, yeah, I could work out to this.
It's valid. Like people go, oh, because when you hear like 80s music, you're thinking like synth pop 80s music, but I'm saying like Def Leppard, like Hot for Teacher by Van Halen,
Yeah.
Cherry
hell
Pie
yes.
by Warrant, shit like that. Incredible for working. I
Incredible
think I
for-
got that inspiration watching Stranger Things season either season 2 or season 3 where they introduced like Max and Billy.
I think
And,
that's
like,
season
Billy's,
3.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy's like the douchebag, like 80s guy who's got like a mustache and he's like working out to like 80s rock. And I was like, I should try that. And I'm like, this is awesome.
He's bench pressing.
They were in the 80s though.
Some shit by
They didn't have
AC/DC.
Blueface. They ain't had Kanye. They ain't had Jay Z.
And let me tell
They
you
ain't
what-
even had
what I
Common.
listened to
They
in
had
the
Andre
gym-
3000. They,
6ix9ine. Then I have XXX. They didn't have
yes, bro.
6ix9ine.
Yeah, bro.
They
you
got
ever just-
Josiah.
You ever just
They got
slam
Josiah.
and
You
bang
ever-
some iron, listen to fucking Spotlight, Moonlight.
Lil Pump.
Babilla do coca.
Yep. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm off
so-
of Molly. I'm off of
I'm much
Bean.
more of like the like
I actually didn't listen to that
AC/DC,
much.
Some Foreigner, Jukebox Hero by Foreigner.
Foreigner.
goes hard as shit.
Foreign.
I bet AC/DC does go hard as shit in the gym.
Talking about Pop
AC/DC
Smoke?
does,
Some
yeah,
Pop Smoke over here?
absolutely.
Who talking about Pop Smoke? Anybody?
So any
One of
more?
my favorites by AC/DC for it is "You Shook Me All Night Long." That's a great gym. TNT, I mean, obviously. Highway to Hell. Duh. You know.
Duh. I am.
Thunderstruck.
Okay, real quick.
I am more of a Van Halen than AC/DC guy.
Real quick, my
I'm
last
gonna,
notes.
I'm gonna break this glass and shove it in my face because you just said that to me, Nick.
Oh,
Do
Okay,
it.
bet. Do it.
You won't do it.
Now, I think
Do
that
it
Van
right
Halen
now.
is like kind of overrated, but of like that class. But and I know that people love him. I just kind of am okay about Van Halen, you know.
Yeah.
Hands can play guitar, man.
Bands could play guitar. I just hate Eruption. I don't like the magnum opus of like tap electric rock guitar, and I'm just like, never cue it up. But Panama
Panama
Hot for
goes.
Teacher?
Legendary.
Panama is goated. That's a
Even-
great gym
Even Jump.
song.
Jump is good.
Jump, yeah.
Jump
I
is
get
good.
Jump.
Jump's good too. The ice cream song. Just kidding.
I don't know what that is.
Don't worry about it.
what I was gonna say. What, Nick?
Oh no, I was just listening to you.
You said
Okay.
wet
Last thing I was gonna say is "Lost in Yesterday" was was a song I really liked.
Oh hell yeah.
And then "It Might Be Time" has just this crazy sound to it, like
Yeah.
it's like the siren kind of like. And I just like not random noises, because it's not random, but just, well, honestly, sometimes I do like random noises in a song. I think it adds to the chaos of a song, and I don't know, I love it. But
Like the
even
dogs
just, like,
barking
some-
in
Who Let the Dogs Out?
bum, 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 DMX and DMX's music. The dogs barking.
Like the
yeah.
I don't think I've heard
like
that
the
one.
horse neighing in Action Bronson songs, like the dolphin squeaking in his song.
Yeah, exactly.
What else? Or even like what? Who did we listen to like 2 weeks ago?
I don't know, bro. I told you every time.
You talking about Injury Reserve?
Every time we hit record,
Yeah,
I
Injury
black out
Reserve.
in the booth.
Injury Reserve.
There's
Jordan,
a-
Injury Reserve was almost 2 months ago.
If you guys like some
Wait,
chaotic,
no, it was-
chaotic albums, look up "Who Kill" by Tune Yards. If you've ever heard of them, they're fucking good.
Kill by
Tune
Tune
Yards?
Yards?
It's like an avant-garde
Kimchi?
jazz group. You want to talk about some
Okay.
weird shit, man? And it's listenable. It's
Dude, wait.
it's a good album. But
Put that shit in the Discord so I remember how to type it.
I feel like Nick is probably the most on his avant-garde shit.
That's true.
True.
I love some like jazz, anything funky like that, man.
Are you like
I
a?
have limits. I like a lot of it, but I do have limits.
I got you. That's it from my notes. Also,
Have you heard
by
the Have
way.
you heard the new Black Country New Road, Austin?
No, I don't know what that is.
I think they're like kind of like a jazz rock group. I don't really know. I just know it's supposed to be pretty good.
I just bought this album by Shabaka and the Ancestors. They're really good, pretty funky out there. There's a guy named Sun Ra. If you guys have
Okay.
ever heard of him, he's really good.
You like Herbie Hancock, right?
Oh God, I'm excited to see him at Bonnaroo, man. I'm fucking
Yeah.
Hell
Wait,
yeah,
you're going to
bro.
Bonnaroo?
Bro,
Yeah.
how have I fucking forgot this? That was one of my main talking points I wanted to bring up at the start of the fucking show.
Yeah, I'm
Nick is
going.
wearing a suit now, but we will all meet in person minus Jordan because yeah, Austin's also going to Bonnaroo, Nick.
Let's go.
I wanted to keep it a surprise for the start of this show, and then I completely fucking forgot.
That was why I was bringing it up, was because I knew he was on the line.
Big dumbass grind.
Dude, I'm
right here,
pumped
you know?
to see him, man. Him and King Giz and Mountjoy and Billy Strings are probably the ones that I'm looking forward to seeing the most.
I got.
If you haven't seen Billy Strings, man, he's gonna fucking melt your face.
Yeah,
I'd love to see it.
you just went and saw him.
Yeah,
And
he
we talked about that where I was like, I can't wait.
he was crazy, dude. Like I'd seen him a year ago in Columbia, and like that show was crazy. And I was telling my friends that came with me, I was like, "Oh, dude, this is gonna be like kick ass show." And then it was 100 times what I had seen a year ago. It's like this dude.
Hell yeah.
Dang.
It's like this dude's up next. Like best guitar playing I've ever seen. Like best show I've ever seen.
Okay.
Bro, I didn't even realize that Flip Turn, the band I keep talking about that Adam was the only one who knew songs by them, they're also going to be at Bonnaroo on Sunday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hyped. Like, people across, like, the Rue spectrum on social media, most of it, they're like, oh, this, like, lineup sucks. But I'm looking at, like, everyone, and I'm like, this lineup is, like, packed.
It's
But
pretty
it's,
good.
it's not the headliners that are crazy.
Yeah,
It's all, like, the undercards are, like... I mean, I'm still hyped for J. Cole, The Chicks, Flu.
I forgot that
Stevie.
Flu
Fuck it, I'll
was
turn up
headlining?
to 21
Flu will
Savage.
be cool.
Stevie, bro, I'm excited to see her.
Yeah, Stevie Nicks. Hell
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, dude, Stevie Nicks, that was one of the first ones where I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Dude.
But I mean, like,
Speaking of Tame
so much
Impala,
shit on here is so good.
I wish it was the lineup for last year, dude. I was so excited to go.
Last year and the year before that, because we didn't buy tickets for last year because we couldn't get them before they sold out, and then it got rained out anyways.
Yeah.
But we had them for 2019. That lineup was a fucking wet dream of a lineup. That shit was insane how good it was.
Dude.
Like, every headliner, every second line, like, so much so that I'm like, damn, it's going to be a process to, like, because it's kind of what you do. You get the schedule when you first go, and then you look and you're like, okay, well, I can't see this person because of this, so, like, maybe I'll see half and
Wait.
half.
They don't give you the times before?
They give it. They
You get 'em-
You see
no,
the
you get
lineup
'em-
now, and then you get the schedule like closer to it. Probably like a
But
month.
you get it like before you walk in the
Yes,
gates though,
yes.
right?
When you get
Okay.
your like swag thing that comes with like your bracelet and your
Okay,
bandana,
okay.
yeah, it's included in that.
Okay, sorry. It sounded like you walked in the gates and like they're like nobody knows the time until you walk in.
Okay, start
Go!
running.
And you're like, who do
It's
we
not quite
follow? Who
that
do we
bad.
look
It's
at
not
first?
quite
I don't
that
know.
the
bad.
scroll.
I mean,
There's a
there
town
is-
crier in there. Hear ye, hear ye.
Hear ye, come get your lineup from Centeroo.
But I was so excited.
Bro.
J. Cole will be
Ludacris?
playing at
Yeah, Ludacris?
7 p.m. tonight.
I was like,
Fucking insane that I'm about to see Ludacris live.
yeah, the guy from Fast and Furious.
Ludacris?
It's crazy how they made a whole rap career.
He's
based
gonna.
on this movie
I
role.
hope he like flips a car, drives it into a plane or something.
Dude, Justin
yeah.
Bieber made him,
I
bro.
want to see him blow up like an old Supra on the stage.
I want to see the Paul
Forgot
Walker
he had a verse on
hologram.
Baby. Dude,
Vin
there's,
Diesel
like,
come out,
well,
The
we can
Rock.
talk more. We can talk more offline about it. Honestly, I should add you to the Bonnaroo group chat that we have, Austin. I don't know why I haven't done that
Dude,
yet.
do you know?
But yeah, I'm fucking
you know,
ready for that.
There are a
shit.
bunch of people from Elk. We talk about it later. There's a bunch of people from Elkin that are also going. I don't know if you know any of them.
Oh,
but-
really? Okay, cool. I mean, I might know some, but it's definitely gonna be hit or miss. Yeah, we can talk more about that offline or like after we finish recording.
Let's say
I don't have any more notes
let's
for
say the
this.
first and last names of everyone we know that's going to Bonnaroo.
And
Okay,
social,
Nick
social
Marshall.
security
And their
numbers. and-
street address, social numbers, first jobs, first pet
yeah.
name,
Yep.
mom's maiden name.
maiden names. That's a good one to throw out there.
Any
So
more-
I think that we've talked about.
Yeah. Do you have any more highlights you wanna go off on?
I was about to say
Austin?
anything before we rate because I finished my.
You
notes.
brought
That's
it.
why I'm on
You brought a
tangent
great
about
album. I feel like we got pretty sidetracked, but I do love it. It's
I
incredible.
mean, for like last points that I'd make, I just think that, like I said, I think that it was hard for him to come out of Currents with another album. Like I think that would be hard for anybody with an album like that. But I think he knocked it out of the park, and like it's obviously different, but I think it's really good. I mean, I really love this album.
it. Okay,
completely agree.
makes sense. Makes sense.
It's just different enough to be interesting, but it's just familiar enough, and like it feels like a blend of some of his older work with
Yeah.
Currents, but it's also steps forward that like you've never seen before from him.
Yeah,
It's just
I think
just really
if you
interesting
like
stuff.
if you looked at the from first album to this one, like looked at all four of them, I think you could see like a clear journey musically and a clear journey on like how he's seeing himself each album, and like the way the album makes you feel, I think is like almost directly like how he was feeling about his musical career at that time. And I think it's a good blend. Like first two albums are like, sorry for coughing. First two albums are like really guitar heavy and like pretty rock forward. Currents, you got into like a lot more electronic stuff, and then I think this was like definitely more dancey and that kind of stuff. But I think it was you can see the blend of the past two albums and these two. See the journey, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think this is him kind of bridging the two like sides a little bit. Like I see what you mean for sure.
Yeah, that's all I have to say. Just go, if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it.
Absolutely. Find a
true.
nice little time.
Definitely.
Take a long drive somewhere. Like maybe go for an early hike this Saturday, and then like on the way there or on the way back, depending on what you feel like your vibe is. I might recommend on the way back. Just play it the whole time. Could be incredible.
That's true.
Or it could be
Depending
like
on how early.
if the sun's rising on the way to your hike,
That would be a
that's
good
very
one, yeah.
early. But that would be a good time to listen.
That is a very early.
I've
hike.
only
If
done
you're
that
beating
about-
the sun.
Yeah. I've only done that like one time when we were trying to beat the sun up at Red Rocks, but
Oh, that was
And we
really
didn't
fun.
even successfully do it
Yeah,
then. We
we actually failed
like,
by
it was
3
like
minutes.
10% up.
I mean, we basically did all right.
Check
And
out the
also,
socials for pictures from that excursion.
Was
It's
it
incredible.
was it Nick who didn't want to go originally? He's like, dude, we gotta wake up. Shit.
I don't think so.
That's
At
cat.
least as far
That's
as
cat.
I was aware, everyone was on board for it. I don't remember anyone having like. A
No,
drawback.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure Nick didn't want to
I
go.
thought
at
I like
first,
suggested the
right?
idea.
No,
No, I'm pretty sure I suggested.
No, it was,
No, I'm pretty sure
it was
I-
me, dude. It was me, totally.
I don't remember
Because
any
I remember,
opposition.
I remember, I
don't
usually
any
never want to get up
opposition.
early, and like this was the one time where I was like, "Hey guys, we should get up early,"
And,
and,
it was
then I
because
feel like,
suggested it. You were on board with
no,
it.
I don't think it was.
You
man.
can
I don't
you
think it
can
was.
check out more of the behind the scenes of that and the video on our YouTube that you can find at the link tree in the socials
There you go.
at
Plugs
Listen Up Podcast on Instagram and at List Up Podcast on Twitter.
Plug
Now
master.
that we've said our piece, so let's rate this then. Austin, you get to go first. You get to give your rating, and then we'll give Nick or Jordan will go, and then I will go last and announce next week's episode. So at your leisure.
So
Out
is
of
this
10.
like a out of 10? So like 10 out of 10 is perfect. 1 out of 10 is the worst album I've ever heard.
Yes.
I mean, you could go 0. The lowest
Okay.
we've ever gotten is 3. So
Okay,
take that into
I'd give this
account.
I'd give this a solid 8. I think it's definitely not my favorite one out of like his whole discography. I'd say it's either second or third. I mean, it's still pretty high up there. I think it's pretty good. But I'm pretty selective with what I give my 10s to. So
I feel
Makes
you.
sense. Makes sense. I get that. I get that.
Nicholas
So either Nick or Jordan. I don't.
I think
when do you go next?
I think I'm gonna go solid 8 too. I feel like that's a good, nice, concise rating.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Jordan,
I'm
what
gonna
about
go
the
6.5 for this.
Ooh,
6.5? That is interesting.
that might not sound very high to you, Austin, but it is a high Jordan score.
It is.
6.5 is a very high Jordan score. I am going to also keep in line with an 8.0. I think this is a fair flat 8.
Fair.
Like you said, I mean, I agree with it. Like other ones are better, but this is still a very good album. And so that brings it to an average rating of 7.63, and that puts it at 21st. Oh, it's tied for 21st. So it's tied for 21st with The New Abnormal by The Strokes, Living Room by Lawrence, and An Awesome Wave by Alt J. It is slightly below Rage Against the Machine by Rage Against the Machine, which is at 20th. And then it is just above Earth Tones and the Nashville Sound, which
Tragic.
are tied for 25th.
I think that's
Earth
solid.
Tones.
7.6 solid. I'm happy with that.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
no, I mean that's especially for your first album. Like I can filter by like remove us
Yeah, it's pretty
3.
good. It's pretty good.
That is I mean amongst guest albums, it's in the upper half.
Did you just say
Pretty
Among
solidly.
Us?
So
Did you just say
Among
Somebody's sus.
guest.
Somebody's sus.
Jamie is
I'm
suspect.
sus. I'm
Jamie is
sus.
sus.
Oh no, I'm sus.
You gotta bring some Herbie Hancock next time, Austin.
Oh, dude, I would love to.
Oh, what did he say? Oh, what did he say? What did he
Yeah,
say?
Some
I'm
headhunters,
using
dude,
Jordan for
love
this
that
part.
shit.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, now that you've done your first album, a good first showing. I wonder who's had the worst first showing. It may have.
Bruh.
I don't know. But so it yeah, now that you've done this, feel free to bring whatever for your next. And if you've enjoyed this, I'll ask you next time. But so if you've enjoyed it and then it's, you want to come back, feel free to bring whatever. Just know that Jordan will rate it probably steeply lower depending on the genre. Depending on what it is.
I have some in mind if I'm invited back. I've got several.
There you go. I mean, me and Nick will be happy. I'm almost positive that we will enjoy whatever you bring back. Jordan, be prepared for a little lower rating, depending on what it is. But so we'll see.
Just come in with a rap album, guaranteed
Dude,
high score.
Barter 6, bro,
gonna be
would be
higher
a
than-
great one to review. Oh,
Dude, I've never listened to that
Bro.
album, but I would 100%.
listen,
All
Did you
right,
say
all right,
Carter
I will.
6? Because if so, it might be a
Barter,
travesty.
Barter,
Oh,
dude.
okay,
Young Thug, bro.
Young Sleeme,
Bro,
bro.
if you,
Young Thuggerton, bro.
I would say no songs off that album are bad.
Okay.
Dude, that album when I saw that the vinyl was going for 150, like many times I've been like, I'm gonna do it, I guess. But I haven't.
Dude, that's
I haven't
crazy.
yet.
I'll listen to it.
Do
dude.
a couple shots, wait 10 minutes, come back, refresh the page, be like, all right, I'm ready.
That's
Dude,
the way
I
you
just
do it.
I'll listen
I
to
just
it.
recently
I'll
spent
listen to it.
$100 on an album.
That's how Nick's been buying
Which one? Which-
music merch and shit like that.
That does
I
happen.
spent I don't know if you guys know a guy named Kamasi Washington.
Hell yes.
Dude,
Yeah.
I just bought the Epic. It's coming to my house in like a week.
Hell yes.
Oh yeah.
I regularly listen to. It might have been like his first EP or like his first project. It's called like.
Young
Is it
Jazz
called Desire?
Giants.
No,
Is it-
it's like. It's
Young
like
Jazzerton
it's
on the
seven.
track.
It's 7 songs, and the last one is like a composite of like the first 6 songs, and it's like
Is it
14
Harmony
minutes
and
long.
Difference?
Yes. I listen
Yeah,
to that
that-
like all the time at work.
It's great. You should listen to the Epic. It's
Didn't
like
he,
3 hours long, but it's worth it.
Let's go.
Didn't he have some part in one of like the covers on that Metallica cover album?
Yeah, he had a part in that. He's done like a lot of production for like he was all over To Pimp a Butterfly with Kendrick, and like he works with people like that. And then like Thundercat is his
Nick,
main
I think you're
bassist.
talking about Harmony of Difference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
what I
that's
just
what
said.
Austin said. Yeah. Wow.
Said.
Yeah.
Oh my bad.
Well.
I was too busy looking to hear.
But yeah, Thundercat on all of his stuff is really good.
Yeah.
Definitely one good one to check out if you like jazz.
Hell yes. I dabble in jazz. I don't know a ton about it, but
I'm coming more into the jazz realm.
honestly, I'm not even like super perceptive when it comes to hi-fi stuff. But when Apple Music introduced the Dolby Atmos, like sound quality,
That shit is
Dude, I
cool.
wanna start-
like it's okay for like for some like popular music, but like stuff like Golden Hour by like Casey Musgraves, like that album sounds cool and better, but like some jazz stuff sounds incredible. Like I think it's called like Some Kind of Blue, or it's like the
Like
Miles Davis album.
Miles Davis, yeah.
Yeah, that album sounds like amazing in Apple
All right,
Music.
I gotta
and
check
Dolby
that out
Atmos.
because I've been like fucking like Dreamland is really good like that, especially if you have AirPod Pros and you turn on like the stereoscopic
Yeah.
like 3D sound. That shit's insane.
It's awesome.
To me. So I definitely gotta check out.
That
I'm gonna make a note of that in the Discord.
the sound
check
sound
out
quality
later.
of jazz is what got me into vinyl. Like you can tell a huge difference on like from streaming on Spotify, like with any album, but like especially with jazz albums, like it's like you're sitting right there basically if you have good enough speakers and the record's clean and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I feel you.
Yeah, I gotta get a proper
I gotta upgrade my
turntable
setup.
and like everything. Yeah.
It's worth it.
Nick, if you've got to upgrade your setup, I've got to start my setup. So
Yeah.
Just be
I'll
prepared to
buy
spend hella
your
money.
setup.
Yeah, it's
See,
fucking
that's the thing.
expensive.
That's what I was waiting, because I was waiting to have enough vinyl to justify a like semi-steep initial investment price for myself. And so but now I have like 13 or 14. So it's like, and I plan on accruing more at a more rapid pace. So it's like, it's worth it to me to now be able to like reap the seeds that I've sown, you know?
That's what'll get you though, is like you get the good table and then you play them and then you're like, oh, this is great, and then you buy them even faster, Like I have,
Yeah, because you're like, oh shit, this is better.
I went from like
It's
20
bad.
when I had the shitty table to like now I have 60, and that was within 1 year.
I'm gonna have to get a crate.
Yeah, you might have to get.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh, what did he say?
But it's weird. I like with video games. As soon as I could get a digital copy, I've never bought another physical game since like 2013. But music, I'm kind of regressing. And regressing is a
You're
Yeah,
really
you're going back in.
Depends
You're
on how you
going
look
back
at
in
it.
time.
yeah timeline regressing.
Yeah, but in your brain, forward going. That's why that's why I like having physical stuff though. Like you were saying, not only is it like shows you more of the album, but like I don't know, it makes it a more personal piece of music. Like it's something you spent 40
There's more
bucks
intent
on.
behind it, right?
Yeah, like it's something that you
Yeah.
like. It's something that one of the things I love about having vinyl is like when people come over, I can like my goal is to like have an album that everyone likes. And I feel like I've gotten there already, but like I just want to
Makes sense.
But it's cool to watch people
Yeah.
come over, like open up the gatefold and be like, "Oh, this is an album that I've listened to a bunch, but I've never seen it like this."
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
like-
it makes it a much more like tactile experience. That's why, because like I've borrowed my dad's record player and stuff like that. Like whenever I was living in Raleigh, I borrowed his, and at the time I only had like Zeppelin 4 and Cage the Elephant by Cage the Elephant, and so it's like, but there was just something about it where like I really enjoyed the like routine of like I'm gonna intentionally pick this up, put it on, start the music. I'm gonna listen to it to hear when it like I need to flip the record and stuff. Like I like the like physical intention. It makes it feel much more like grounded. Than I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I love. It's hard with artists' rights and stuff, but I love streaming music. I think that it's ultimately everyone's learning more about music than ever before. But also, I really like the connection of like the physical side of stuff I really, really enjoy. I want to have an even more like tactile connection to that. I really need to get my hands on the complete 2020 experience by Justin Timberlake. That is like #1 vinyl I'm in search of because that shit is insane.
That's probably like
but
I think it kind of also goes
three-
back to what you were
300
talking about with
three smack
NFTs and
I mean, it's the horniest record I'm a huge fan of. I mean, that's absolutely. But I love that album like so much.
what were you saying
It's
about
so good.
NFTs?
I
about,
think it goes back to what you were saying, like with NFTs reselling stuff. Like if you can get lucky and you can find, like if you buy somebody's album physically and they blow up, like you have a piece, you have like a real life NFT, like you have something like a trading card or something like that that's gonna be super valuable. Like just like this Billy String, like his first album, he probably made a limited pressing and like people bought it at some small show, and then like here this dude is blowing up kinda and selling for $500.
Yeah.
It's like you can have a real treasure on your hands. And if if the Russians send an EMP, how the fuck are you guys gonna listen to your Spotify?
Exactly, but I'm gonna
they're
be
gonna shut
I'm
down
gonna be in the
Spotify, bro.
apocalypse, just
I'll
fucking
get-
bumping suit and tie. You know?
I'll get my guy hand cranking that bitch so I can listen.
Exactly. I'm gonna get a gramophone, put it on there, and just
Yeah.
fucking-
I'm gonna,
just going to ape
gonna
shit.
turn
Turn
my
a
apartment into
lampshade into
Bioshock.
it.
Dude, I just
Sunshine,
okay.
That's pretty good.
I just found a record store 148 miles away.
Okay, minor road
that
trip.
has 2020 complete experience.
Run.
Minor road trip.
like in stock. So
Bro,
I'm
get a
gonna
shifty,
drive.
my
I'm not
guy.
gonna run there. I don't think they do online retail.
Tragic.
Beg them.
How much?
Oh, it looks like I'm going back to Kansas City, Missouri.
How
I
much?
don't think that location's right. Yeah, so
That's longer than
Yeah, I mean-
150 miles.
How much for the
yeah,
album
yeah,
though?
a lot more.
Like how many dollies?
See, that's the problem. It doesn't list the price.
You gotta call
either,
him.
So I'm gonna drive 150 miles and pay that much in money to
Yeah.
buy the vinyl.
True.
Yeah, so that's one of
Probably
the, that's
more
one of
in
the
gas,
ones
dude,
on my
huh?
short list.
Joe
of, like,
Biden.
I need to cop that shit.
Dude.
Joe
Remember
Biden.
Snapchats I still see?
Dude, with
so
the sticker that points at the price. I did that.
dude,
It's like I did that. Dude, this dude on my story literally it was like dude, you can't tell me Sleepy Joe's not a bad president. And he like drives like a diesel truck, so his shit is like $4 like a gallon.
No one says. Well, okay, people say it, but that's my quickest barometer for like, is this person like, do they care about people and they're actually like left leaning, or like, do they not care about people and they want to be like a Democrat who's right? Like, do they still believe the dogma? Is if they like support Joe Biden and also claim to also like support the individual? Because if you like Joe Biden as a president, like if you say that, you like it discounts.
Hell no, I don't like him. He does is sit up there with his feet up on his desk and he says, "I think I want gas to be more expensive today." That's all he does.
He has like a big wheel that he like just cranks, and like it's just like this huge gear system, and it's just like he just cranks it and cranks it and cranks it, and it just like it just like ticks up the penny mark on every gas station in America.
What are you gonna do today,
man?
President?
This is so much fun. I don't know why everybody doesn't do this. This is great.
That's what people think though. They're like, Joe Biden.
I know, it's insane.
Joe Biden with my gas. What the fuck do you think he's
Joe Biden
doing?
controlling the damn OPEC market prices. That fuck.
Joe Biden, during Trump's presidency, there was no COVID. I mean, that's kind of funny. And now there's a ton of COVID and high gas.
I just think it's funny how. So next week's album that we're gonna be covering, we're gonna be having. We're gonna be having Jesse back on the podcast.
Let's go.
And we're gonna be doing "The Dream" by Alt J, their newest drop. It came out Friday.
Oh, okay.
It's a good album.
So we're going to continue down kind of like the indie psych-ish adjacent. Like old albums were more psych than the album we're doing. You know, that kind of path. So we'll see how Jordan likes that one. Feel like it's not going to get a 6.5, but we'll see.
We'll see.
So, I mean, if we just want to rattle off some recent listings. For me, the new drop by Alt J, absolutely. I've been listening to that album. I've listened to it 3 or 4 times already.
Damn.
I will hold my thoughts until next week. Currents, I went back, listened to Currents a lot as well as the Slow Rush. And also I've been just sticking with my theme of last week. I'm just really on like Cutting Grass Part 1 and 2, some like Tyler Childers, Zach Bryan, that area of like Coulter Wall. Oh, I found a new guy that Nick had actually known.
Vincent Neil Emerson?
Yes, yeah. I heard his song 25 and Wasting Time and Willie Nelson's Wall. And so I've kind of, that's less like bluegrass folk and more like new country that sounds like Waylon Jennings era country, which I heavily fuck with.
Fried Chicken and Evil Women? Legendary song.
Fried Chicken and Evil Women. I mean, so he's been putting out some good shit. I've checked out him a little bit more. I've liked him a lot. But yeah, it's weird. I've been on this like super indie psych alt kick, and at the same time I'll be like, you know what, I just ate lunch, I'm feeling like it's time to switch to bluegrass country time. So that's just been my my dichotomy for the last 2 weeks.
You gotta get on your Billy Strings shit.
Yeah, you
Some
fucking
Billy
do.
Strings, you know, Dust in a Baggie, timeless classic.
Oh, legendary.
Dude,
Yeah.
speaking of Billy, he has a show right now you can stream for free on Mixler. That's what I've been doing since I went and saw him live.
Huh.
It's like a live show you can just watch?
Yeah, it's like no, it's just the audio. It's like radio.
Okay.
It's just
Gotcha,
the audio, but like, it's worth a listen, man. He fucking kills it.
Hell yes.
That's who I've been listening to a lot this week is Billy Strings, just to get ready for that concert. Listen to him.
Understandable.
Him, Doc Watson, a lot of Doc Watson, a lot of Kamasi Washington. There's one called Heaven and Earth, I think. That's a really good album. The Epic as well is a really good one. Yeah, I'd say that's who I've been listening to like the most this week.
I got you.
Gotcha.
I've been listening to a lot of Big Thief still with their new album. Spoon, their new album, very good. Lucifer on the Sofa.
I still haven't checked out the.
I love it. It's probably my favorite Spoon album. It's like they usually get a little weird with some of the songs on their album, and like 1 or 2 of the songs are like way left field compared to the rest of them, at least in my opinion. But this one is like consistent enough feel for the whole thing. It just feels like concise. It feels like they're like wound tight and like letting loose. like really, really precise. It's good stuff. But
Gotcha.
Texas Moon, got it early in the mail. We talked about that earlier. Great. I've listened to it like 4 times.
That is pretty cool.
Krungbin. I think that's pretty much it.
It's so funny that I really checked them out because of Rhett and Link.
That is funny.
That's still so fucking funny to me.
That's funny.
Who I like. In their podcast, they were like, yeah, like I talked about it originally, and then you like did the Texas Moonshine, and I was like, or Texas Sun,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh shit, yeah, like I coincidentally like 2 weeks ago, like got this recommendation from them, and I've been like,
Yeah, I low key like they're
funny.
from Houston, and I kind of wanted to be like, I was like, I didn't really want to, but I was
a groupie.
I was like, it won't be the worst thing in the
grubby
world if I have to stay in Houston for work, like through the new year, because I could go see a Krungbin New Year's show in their hometown. But
Oh, do they do like the Avett Brothers?
I don't know if they do it every year, but they were doing one this year.
Gotcha.
But I came back in November, so didn't.
But then you
didn't
would
get
have been
to see
stuck
it.
in a cesspool that is Houston, Texas.
Yeah, Houston low key sucks, but the members of Krungbin met there, so it's not all bad.
You also got some personal life growth out of that. So
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I enjoyed my time there a lot. I didn't love the city. I was glad it was a temporary thing, but Texas is cool. Texas is low key a vibe. But
Okay.
Texas
officially low key.
Texas understood the assignment.
So Jordan, what are your recent listenings?
Don't Play That by King Von, 21 Savage. That was a new song that came out. Diet Coke, Pusha T, been listening to that. City of Gods, Fabio Foreign, Kanye, and Alicia. I know you guys said you didn't like it that
It's
much,
alright.
but he shouted out Pop on it, dude.
I didn't say I didn't like
threw
it.
back-
I haven't listened
Okay,
to
okay,
it.
okay.
Well,
Oh, okay. It's a drill beat, which is insane because every song I listen to that has Fabio Foreign, like they get him for a drill beat. Like, I'm like, is he ever gonna do anything that's not? And it's kind of like,
Sounds like he doesn't.
I kinda
know how to
like
branch
it.
Out.
no, I kind of
kidding,
like it
I'm
like that
kidding.
because he kind of has the respect of like other singers coming on to a beat that's not as familiar to them
I
to
get
get
that.
that feature
Like
and that like
he's
high
got
status.
He's got enough like clout behind his name.
Yes.
that they go out of their comfort zone just
Yes.
to get him in on. Okay, I see that. I see
It's
what you mean.
it's insane to me like how much he's pulling, and I got to like be like 3 people away or like pretty close to him at Rolling Loud before even like Donda dropped, and he
Yeah.
it's like weird saying like thinking that I got like in after he like blew up, but then like seeing how big he is now. I think we talked about this, and like seeing how big he is now, you know, I'm like I was like decently early for that, but I
You were
thought I was
definitely
late.
The only reason I know his name is because of you. So
I know.
I would agree. With that.
And then he also had a song with Mary J. Blige on her new album that came out.
Interesting.
Really weird. It's okay. It's not the best, but I've been listening to Dark Knight Demo with Trippie Redd, Travis Scott, and maybe someone else. But my favorite song I've been listening to this week is Bankroll by Rich the Kid and NBA Youngboy. That song is really good. It's such a vibe. Woke Up Like This by Playboi Carti and
Yes,
Lil
sir.
Uzi. Super by Corday. What is this one? Little Chef G. And then that's pretty much it. I've been listening to my Discover Weekly a lot more, and that's helped a lot.
Soon you're gonna add Check by Young Thug, Halftime by Young Thug, Can't Tell by Young Thug,
Martyr
T.I. and Lil
6.
Boosie.
Whole album.
Yeah, well, yeah, but, I mean, you just let me know what you think about it.
All right. Well, dude, I honestly like a lot of songs with Young Thug in it. It's one of those artists I still just haven't explored as a solo artist
Yeah.
that much yet.
Yeah,
You know, I know that.
I did a lot of
Just
shit
to
just
live
to
this
live
here
this
life.
life.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know that one.
I'm
I'm a stoner. What's that?
oh man,
Yeah, because I
love it.
was gonna say, Austin, now you're in the exclusive club that you're in this Discord. You might want to get the phone app because we pop off quite a lot in song recommendations.
Okay, yeah, I'm
So you can
always
throw
down
shit
for
in
new
there, yeah.
music.
Well, if you want to download the Discord app on your phone and at least have notifications for that channel, we quite a lot. It is quite frequent that we talk in that. But yeah, so Jordan, are you done with your recent listenings? Is that
Yeah.
okay? So then we'll take this one out to pasture. We just wanted to say thanks again for listening this week, and thank you again to Austin for joining us. It was a great debut episode.
Hell
I think.
yes. What a guy.
Remember to tune in next week, where we're going to be looking at The Dream by Alt J with Jesse, a returning guest. Be sure to listen to it as much as you want, kind of have your own thoughts and mentally join in the discussion, quote unquote, with us. If you want to keep up with the show or share your thoughts about this week's episode or just the show in general, I guess, check out the socials. We're on Twitter at ListenUp. No. Sorry about that. We're on Twitter at ListUpPodcast and Instagram at ListenUpPod. Those accounts, as well as our personal handles and the merch link, are going to be in the description of wherever you found this episode. Finally, if you enjoyed this episode, if you wanted to throw a rating or review our way on your respective platform, that'd be great. And other than that, for now, we'll catch you next week, and remember to listen up.